Hello everyone, I'm Victoria and today I'd like to give you my review of My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brodi, Ashton, and Jodi Meadows. So what is this book about? It's an alternative history of Lady Jane Grey. Who's Lady Jane Grey? Well, she was crowned Queen of England after the death of her cousin Edward VI in 1553. She reigned for a total of 9 days before she was deposed, and Mary took over sovereignty of England. So of course this is an alternative history, so the facts are played with kind of loosely. Another thing that they add into this is an element of magic. So some people can transform into animals, and those people are called Ethians, and the people that can't are called Verities. So this is kind of analogous to the Protestant and Catholic Church during this time period. The first half of this book basically deals with Jane as she marries Gifford, Lord Gifford, also known as G, like as in the letter, and it deals with their relationship. The second half of the book deals more with the political machinations of English society during the Tudor era. Overall, I gave this book a 2.5 out of 5. Sad face. It just wasn't great. I did round it up to 3 for Goodreads. I don't think it's a terrible book. I just couldn't really get along with it. I didn't think it was that funny. It's supposed to be kind of like farcical and absurdist, and honestly, I just don't think it went that far. I just didn't think it was that funny. I think the reasons for that were because of 2 major issues that I had early on in the book. The first is Jane herself. I found her to be kind of mean, honestly. She's portrayed as loving books, and she'd rather bring a book to a dance and read it than actually talk to anybody. She actually physically makes a wall out of books in a carriage so that way she can't talk to G, and she's always telling him to not touch her books or anything. And honestly, that just comes across as being really mean. I think the authors wanted you to sympathize with her. Oh, look, you're reading a book. She reads books too. You probably really like books. She likes books a lot. But she just came across as a jerk that ignored social conventions and was content to read instead of actually interact with people. And she also felt very supercilious. She felt like she knew better than everyone else. So again, the character did not come across as sympathetic for me, so I wasn't super invested in her as a character. The second thing is that we have a big misunderstanding at the beginning. Now, if you read any historical romance, you know that that is a huge trope, and it's one, frankly, that I hate. I hate it. I have read so much historical romance, and it happens so frequently that I am just done. I'm tired with it. If I find out that a book has a big misunderstanding in it, I'm not reading it, or I'm DNFing it. Nope, sorry, over, done with, see ya. Now, if there's a small misunderstanding, it gets resolved within 10 pages, great. But if there's a big misunderstanding and it happens throughout the entire book, nah, I'm done. I'm done. It's called use your words, explain what's happening, and we can all just move on. Unfortunately, nobody uses their words in this book. So Jane has a misunderstanding about G, and G, for honestly stupid reasons, decides not to enlighten Jane. And so we have this big misunderstanding that lasts a long time, and it kind of just ruined it, tainted the rest of the book. If there weren't the 2 things of my dislike of Jane and the plot device of the big misunderstanding, I think I would have liked this book a lot more. I just wasn't rooting for it. Honestly, I was predisposed to not like it because of those things. And so I couldn't get into it. I had to force myself to read this. It took me over a week to read this. When I was reading it, I was flying through it, but I couldn't make myself pick it up. I would normally have read like 2 to 3 books at least in that space of time, and I just didn't. So this kind of got me into a little bit of a reading slump, and I just didn't really love it. You might like it if you haven't read a lot of romance novels and you're not used to that big misunderstanding. Maybe it wouldn't annoy you as much as it did me. I will say that I did like Edward's voice in this, so that was something. I thought that he was cute and adorable, and so that's kind of why I did round it up to that 3-star rating, and why I don't think it's awful, but I wish it had been better. So that's my review of My Lady Jane. Thank you so much for watching, and have you read this book? What do you think of it? Did you find it as funny as a lot of people seem to, or did you find it lacking in any ways? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much and have a nice day.